Man, it's Pro Wrestling Summer. You already know what it is. Chris Dozer. What is up, my man? How you doing, brother?
I'm living the dream. How about you, man?
Man, living the fucking dream. You already know what it is. I'm living the dream because it's a fucking nightmare. But that's all right. We'll worry about that later. We'll do it live. Goddammit. So I'm pretty excited about this episode. We're going to be rebooking Full Gear today. This is going to be a fucking lot of fun, I'm sure. We've gotten some pretty good views on our last video where we were deciding the roster for AEW. So this should be a lot of fun. I look forward to arguing with you about what we're going to put on the show.
All right, sounds like fun.
Excellent. Well, I don't know what you did, but I did a pre-show, a 3-match pre-show.
As did I.
Oh, okay, great, excellent. Well, I'm very curious to hear what your card is, and then we can go over my card.
Okay. All right. So my pre-show card, I have Leo Rush versus Pac.
Okay.
Pac over due to interference from the Death Riders. Whatever.
Okay.
Then you're gonna like this one. You get a hint of what's happening here. Powerhouse Hobbs versus Miro versus Orange Cassidy.
Oh, okay. All right.
Miro over. Cassidy gets into the hospital.
Okay.
So here's the thing: if you want to have him be believable babyface,
yep,
let him be that comedy gimmick that keeps getting beaten up and beaten up and beaten up and beaten up and beaten up.
All right.
Have him fight from underneath. Come through, and then you, maybe in a year or two time, if I did it right, people watching want to see that match.
Okay, all right, I can dig that. All right, what else you got?
I have a tag team match to end out the card. I have the Outrunners versus Mark Briscoe and Tony Nese.
Well, that's an interesting fucking team. Jesus Christ!
Opposites attract, right? I wanted that there to be some fuckery going on between that, so
I can dig it.
Yeah, that's it. And then I have the Outrunners over there, strong.
I like
over
it.
Briscoe.
I like it. Okay. Well, my pre-show is a little bit different from yours. I have a women's gauntlet #1 contenders match, featuring Deonna Purrazzo, Jamie Hayter, Marina Shafir, Willow Nightingale, Julia Hart, and Serena Deeb.
On the pre-show, holy shit!
On the pre-show, yep. On the pre-show
match,
and then
match.
And then I have Marina Shafir going over in that match in the #1 contenders gauntlet for the women's title. Yep. And then after that, I have a men's battle royale, which is going to consist of 30 guys all in the ring at the same time, because I want some sort of crazy fucking shit going on. And Orange Cassidy is my winner of that. Which
so y'all get the feeling of what's happening here, right? It's a main event that's obviously been changed.
Yes. Oh, obviously the main event has been changed. I am not featuring that fucking main event, dude. There's no way.
Neither am I.
All right, good, excellent. And then to end out the pre-show, I have a 6-man tag match for the trios titles. Pac, Claudio, and Wheeler Yuta versus Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews. And the House of Black will go over in that match due to Pac turning on Claudio and Yuta and joining the House of Black.
Ooh, I like that.
So that's what I got for the pre-show. How about your main card? What do you got for the main card?
So I was torn between this, right? I was torn between trying to keep things as easily similar as possible to end storylines and whatnot, or to retcon and blow it up.
Okay.
And obviously I retcon the main event and then changed it around, and there's a couple other things I added.
Okay.
Tell me what you think.
All right.
So the opening contest is going to be Kyle Fletcher versus Will Ospreay.
Oh, okay. Jesus. Well, fucking right out the gate.
Right out the gate. Yep.
Okay.
Fletcher over thanks to Don Callis fuckery.
Interesting.
Yep. The next match I have is a last man standing match.
Ooh, okay. I love last man standing matches.
Hangman Page and Jay White.
Oh, okay. All right. I can dig
White.
that.
Yeah, I mean, with the violence they can both have, I can dig it. White over in a hard fought battle.
Okay.
I have Adam Cole versus Malachi Black.
Interesting.
We're gonna run it back again.
Okay.
So the way I put it is, I'm taking the leash off the guys. Call their own match. Call it to me before they hit the curtain. But obviously before they go out, they were going to go over it a couple times so we can get production right, and you know what I mean.
Yep.
But let them have their own match. Don't over fucking dramatize his ankle or whatever. Oh, his ankle's fucking fine if he's wrestling.
And doing the Panama Sunrise.
Yeah, with no selling ankles, right? Well, I think any of that. Then I have a tag title. I don't know how to put this. It's a 5-way match.
Okay.
With the Gun Club Private Party defending the titles versus FTR versus House of Black, Matthews and King versus the Grizzled Young Veterans.
Okay. All right.
GYV over in an upset.
Whoa, GYV winning the fucking AEW titles. Okay.
Yep. I have Strickland versus Lashley because that match is going to be fire, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Lashley over because you can't putting Lashley over doesn't hurt Swerve. I think his stock is right where it needs to be at. I think Lashley needs to go over just to cement the Hurt Syndicate as a threat. Next, we're going with the women's TBS championship match. Get Mercedes off the mic, off my TV. Have a title drop to Statlander.
Okay.
Then my pre-main is Takeshita versus Shelton Benjamin.
Ooh. Okay.
With Takeshita going over that.
All right.
And in my main event match, I kept it to 8 matches for the main card because 12 matches is fucking ridiculous. But with this roster, I can see why he does that.
Right.
I have John Moxley defending the title against Darby Allin.
Interesting.
Mox over after a strong, hard-fought match. So the way I see it is, he tries to beat up Allin.
Mm-hmm.
He hangs around, comes back, gets a couple near falls, and then we have the violence taking over. He gets frustrated. He gets weapons. He gets uncomfortable really quick.
All right.
And you end up having that be the finish of that, like being the violent end of Darby Allin, as we think. Eventually, he's going to work where Al's going to get back in the mix after some time off and whatnot, and be in the same position he was.
Okay.
Against Moxley, and then the second time Allin faces Moxley, he takes him down. He beats him.
Okay.
But
that's what you're getting. So that's what you're getting to is you're getting to another Darby versus Moxley match.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Cool. I like it. Well, my main card, a little bit different from yours. Not too much, but a little bit different from yours. I'm going to start out the card with a number 1 contenders elimination match. Ospreay versus Lashley versus Darby versus Danny Garcia versus MJF versus Adam Cole versus Hangman versus Swerve.
Holy shit.
It's like an all-star number 1 contenders elimination match. So obviously pinfalls are allowed, submissions are allowed, and I have MJF going over in that match, obviously by heelish means. I think that would be a perfect match, and in all reality, I would like it to be the last 2 guys to be Ospreay and MJF. So that would be my thing. I think Hangman and Swerve would take each other out. Just in terms of
heat from that.
Exactly.
Yep,
just continue to build the heat from that. I think Adam Cole and Danny Garcia will have an interaction because of what happened when Adam Cole basically saved Danny Garcia from getting beat up by MJF. And then Darby is just a lunatic, and I would surmise that he would end up beating Lashley at some point. And then Lashley would give him an absolute beating afterwards, and basically lay him out for everybody else. And then from there, I would put on the tag team title match. I kept it a 4-way: Private Party versus FTR versus the Acclaimed versus the Outrunners. I have Private Party going over in that match. I like them. I like them with the titles. I think that it's a good look. I think that homegrown guys. I'm kind of into it. And then from there, I have, I have merger match, which is the international and the continental title will merge. So it would be Takeshita versus Okada in a first ever match, and I would put Okada over in that match. I think Okada having merged those belts, I think would be a really interesting thing. And honestly, I would send him back to Japan for a little while to have him work in New Japan and defend the title there.
Build the new belt up. Yep.
Correct, and basically to build up towards that Forbidden Door pay-per-view.
Right. So, if you make it worth it, make it mean something.
Correct. Exactly right. And then I have the TNT title going on, which would be Jack Perry versus Jay White versus Roosh. And I have Jay White going over in that match. I think Jay White with the TNT belt would be a really interesting thing. I think Jack Perry has not really done too much with it thus far. Great heel, but I think that he could be even more of an effective heel if he was, trying to cost Jay White matches and so on and so forth. So that's what I would go with there. And then I have the TBS Championship, which I would turn into a 3-way. Mercedes Moné versus Chris Statlander versus Britt Baker. And I would actually put Mercedes over in that match. And the reason why I would put her over is because I would turn Statlander and Britt super heels immediately. I think Statlander is a born heel, and Britt is way more effective as a heel than she is a face. So
way more entertaining as well.
Way more entertaining. And not only that, but Mercedes as a face would be a huge deal. It would be
she needs a chase.
She needs
to fight from the bottom, like I said.
Agreed.
I had it in my card too. Like she get the title off of her. She needs to fall from grace.
Agreed. Right? Agreed. I like it. I totally like it. And then I have in the co-main event, I have Mariah versus Tony. For the women's belt, I would put Tony over in that match. I mean, big return. And then in the main event for the fucking all the marbles, I would put Moxley versus Christian. Christian would cash in with his fucking contract and try to fucking duel it up with Moxley, but Moxley would go over in that match. Obviously, probably by choking him out. I would imagine that would be my guess. But that is my card. I mean, I have 9 matches in total. I think it would, I think that's a proper. Well, let me see. Hold on. Wait a minute. No, I have 10 matches total with the pre-show and that. So, I mean, we're right on the same page here with a lot of what we would do. Now, my only question to you is, in terms of like the title belts, what do you think about the title belts? I was really curious to ask you this, and we really didn't talk about it. I mean, there are a fucking lot of titles in this fucking company.
There are way too many titles.
Okay.
There are way too many titles in AEW. It's so hard to follow because you thought the mid-card title was the TBS title.
Correct.
Right? That was the main mid-card title. That was the IC championship for WWF fans, right?
Correct.
But it's not.
No.
It seems like once they've moved from TNT to TBS, they kind of like stopped showcasing the TNT title as a meaningful title. And I think that's why. 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 I think that's w
Yeah,
So
I
I
mean,
would get rid of that title first. I would scrap that title. I mean, I wouldn't scrap the run that Jack Perry's had with it, or having with it. I would eventually retcon that title to merge all three singles titles into one title.
okay.
And then obviously you have tag team champion, you have the three-way tag team championship. I keep that, and then that's something you can build off of.
Okay. All right.
But definitely go down to one mid-card title for Christ's sakes.
Okay, so you would probably get rid of the International, the Continental, and
It's the same thing.
Yeah, it is the same thing. I mean, what the fuck are we doing here? So okay, and you would scrap the TNT belt, is what you're saying?
Right. I make the fucking International belt the main belt.
Okay. All right. The main mid-card title would be the International title. Okay, got it.
Correct.
And now, what about the six-man tag titles and the tag titles? What would you do with those? I mean, would you leave the six-man tag titles, or would you scrap them at this point?
I mean, if I had a plethora of talent, I would keep the six-man titles, but I feel it devalues the tag team titles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because, I mean, the tag team champions are supposed to be the best duo, right? The best team.
Correct.
So how can you have the best team of three guys? Like it makes no sense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I would definitely go back to the tag titles and drop the six-man tags.
Okay.
But if I had more talent, if I had like a deeper roster,
mm-hmm.
Granted, I fired half the roster last show.
Right.
I mean, I may be tempted to keep them, but again, I wouldn't put much stock in them.
Okay.
It's plus the FTW title. Like, it's just like enough. Stop.
Yeah, it is a little much. Now, what about the women's and the TBS title? I mean, obviously, would you want to keep? I mean, we have a very limited women's roster. I mean, would you keep a TBS title?
I would keep a mid-card title.
Interesting. Okay.
Because you have enough juice there for that title to make it mean something.
Yep.
And you have quite. And it seems to me like they're pushing the TBS title more than the women's title right now.
Well, because they're paying more money for Mercedes.
Right.
Mercedes costs them way more money.
Well, that's their own damn fault.
Agreed.
But like I said, I would definitely keep give a mid-card title someone to go after, so you can build someone up and see what the run looks like, and then potentially move them over to the main title.
Okay, all right. Well, just as an added little bonus here, I decided to do like a tag team list of who I think should be a tag team. If you wouldn't mind indulging me for a minute, I'd like to go over these teams with you.
Please do.
I have Adam Cole, Roddy, Kyle O'Reilly, and Mike Bennett. They'll stay as the Undisputed Kingdom or whatever the fuck they want to call themselves.
Okay, I dig it.
I have Ange Parker and Matt Menard. They'll still be a tag team. Yeah, totally fine. Bowens and Caster will still be a team as the Acclaimed. Okay. Austin Gunn, Colton Gunn, Juice Robinson, and Jay White will continue to be the Bang Bang Gang. Lashley, Shelton, Leo Rush, and MVP will be the new Hurt Syndicate with the addition of Leo Rush. Brody, Darby, Pac, Buddy Matthews, and Malachi Black will be the new House of Black. Cash Wheeler and Dax as FTR.
Yep.
Christian, Nick Wayne, Brian Keith, and Hook will now be the Patriarchy.
Ooh, I like it.
I like turning Hook heel. I really do.
Yes,
I like turning Hook heel.
Yes.
Dante and Darius Martin will continue as Top Flight. Dutch and Vincent will continue as Ring of Horror. Hangman, Jack Perry, Okada, and the Young Bucks will be the new Elite.
Interesting.
Yeah, Grizzled Young Veterans will stay the same. Omega, Ibushi, and Takeshita will now be known as the Rising Suns. And they will, and they'll go between New Japan and AEW. They'll be like an intermediary between the two. Fletcher and Davis will team up again to be Aussie Open as heels. Mansoor and Mason Madden will be MXM. MJF, Ricky Starks, Sammy, and Powerhouse Hobbs will be the pillars. And that's what they'll be called. I like that as a team. I think they need a big heater like Hobbs.
Like Max.
Yeah, exactly. To somebody that Ricky and Max and Sammy can run their mouths, and they have a giant guy behind them to take it out.
Yeah.
And then I have Orange Cassidy and Peter Avalon, known as the Cool. Because
it's so funny. You know what? It's so funny that both of us had Orange Cassidy in the pre-show.
Yeah. Well, what are you gonna do? Like, I can't put him anywhere else. I mean,
that's why I had his ass kicked by Powerhouse Hobbs.
Yeah, see, I love that
because like that's he should be thrown to the wolves, right?
Yep.
Like a gladiator. Have him fight back triumphantly and have him be a hard luck loss every single time, and have the fans get behind him. Like he's going to win this time. He's not going. He didn't get there this time.
It's the Mikey Whipwreck approach.
Exactly. Have his ass kicked early and often.
I dig it. I absolutely love that shit. I love it, and I love Mikey Whipwreck because of that. That was brilliant piece of booking right there by Paul Heyman.
Absolutely. I'm stealing it. So fuck it.
I'm in. I
gotta say, I mean, the tag teams you have, not dissimilar to the tag teams I have. I didn't bring up the House of Black, like I wanted to.
Yep.
I'm gonna keep them in the House of Black. Maybe with some new members mixed in between. I like the addition of Pac to the House of Black for you. I guess that's a better featured spot than Death Riders for him.
Well, yeah, I mean, he can't really. He's the only one who dresses in gear.
Right. I don't understand what they're doing with him. So
it's very strange.
Right. Like I said, I had him opening the show in the pre-show with Leo Rush. So
yeah.
Just to try and get him featured more. Right.
Yeah.
You should be putting your better athletes on TV. Like, why is FTR not on TV right now?
Agreed. Why are they not on TV consistently? Why are they not on TV every show? That's the question.
They're the biggest tag team draw, for fuck's sake.
It's kind of strange, man. Kind of fucking strange.
Like I said, I would feature them in my tag team. I guess you would call it Fatal 5-Way. Fucking whatever. But like I said, I wouldn't have them win. I keep them as far away from the tag titles as possible because I want them as a top of the card tag team.
Yep.
And without the titles, because you don't tie the titles with that, because there's no way upward mobility for the titles to go. Right. They're already built up enough. So.
Well, I mean, there's plenty of options for all these guys. I mean, even with our depleted roster, essentially, where we cut more than half the guys, we still have plenty of people. I mean, it's fucking insane.
I didn't use half the guys that I thought I was going to use.
Right.
In all honesty, I didn't want to do a complete retcon, but I also didn't. I wanted to see some stories end sooner than others.
Right.
So I want them to play out on their own.
Now I'm very, very curious about what you do with Swerve after this whole Hangman thing is over. What do you think like a plan would be for Swerve? I mean, just kind of going back to some of the storylines that are already in play on the actual show. I mean, what would you do, to end these feuds? I mean, now that we're coming up to Full Gear here on Saturday, live on pay-per-view, what exactly would you do with some of these actual matches? I mean, I'm really, really interested to see what you would do with the Swerve and Lashley situation. I'm really curious to see where Hangman kind of mixes into the whole thing, and I'm really curious. I mean, me personally, I would imagine that they're gonna put Lashley over Swerve.
I think it doesn't hurt Swerve as much as it would hurt Lashley if he didn't go over.
Yeah, that's kind of like my opinion too.
You don't bring Lashley to lose his first big match.
Mm-hmm.
you don't pay that much money for him to come in like he did and to lose his first match out the gate.
You would imagine that the match would be pretty competitive, though, no?
Absolutely, it has to be. Has to be. Like he's going to give. I would absolutely have him go over. I would have Lashley and Swerve have a very competitive match.
Yeah.
Like numerous times you think Swerve's going to go over, and Lashley ends up taking it.
Now, obviously, you would imagine that.
I tell you what I'd like to see happen as I finish that match.
Yeah, sure.
He goes for the Swerve stomp. Lashley rolls out of it and gives him a hurt lock.
Oh my God, that would be fucking amazing.
Yep.
That would be amazing.
I think with those guys, they can pull that off.
I wonder if Swerve is going to be able to if they're going to have like Swerve like be not like a fight from underneath guy all the time, because he's too talented for that. He's obviously
as a heel.
Yeah, he's obviously shown that, you know, he doesn't need to fight from underneath. I'm just really curious about what they're gonna do with that. I'm also curious to see what they're gonna do with the Moxley and Orange Cassidy situation. I'm very, very curious to see how they're gonna spin that. If Moxley's gonna
themselves into a corner with that, dude. If it doesn't end in a stoppage, I'd be shocked.
If Moxley doesn't cheat to win, I'm not really sure what the fuck they do. I'm really not. I'm not sure what they do. He's got to cheat to win. Has to. Because it's the only way that it's going to make Orange Cassidy not lose any fucking steam. Because if he loses clean to the guy, then, I mean, this whole build-up of him defending the honor of AEW is fucked.
Right. Like, I just don't... They put themselves into a corner with that. Like that's a problem. They didn't leave themselves any really wiggle room for outs.
Yeah.
The loss clean is going to be bad for him.
Yeah, I agree.
The worst thing for him than us demoting him to the pre-show. It makes him irrelevant.
Now, what do you think they do with the tag titles? Do you think that they put it on the hot team of the Outrunners, or do you think that they leave it on Private Party?
It's safe on Private Party right now. It's a safe choice.
Yep.
Their face tag team, they can kind of elevate and carry that division a little bit.
Yep.
Give them a little bit of a run. It's not the Outrunner's time yet, but it's close.
Yeah.
That makes any sense. They're like right there.
I mean, I like the fact that they're getting a good crowd response, but I just don't know if they're ready for the tag belts yet.
That's what I'm saying.
I need to see more. I need to see more from them. Not more fire. I just need to see more of them. Like, actually wrestling matches other than on, like, fucking Rampage and shit.
First I heard of them was when they were advertised for the tag team title match.
Right.
I haven't watched their matches. I actually am very entertained by them. The problem is, like, with a gimmick like that, they should be featured more often.
Well, yeah, again, because they're selling merch for the company. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Put them on paid TV time. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, it's very, very bizarre to me that they're some of the structuring that they have for the company of like who they put on TV and who they don't. It's just really fucking odd. They
forget about people like where's Okada right now? Jesus Christ! Like it seems like they forget about them more often than not.
Yeah, I mean, it's so tough, man, because as you know, I mean, and I know, it's very, very difficult booking shows, especially when you have a glut of talent, because you're trying to get everybody on the show, and everyone wants to be featured, and obviously you can't feature everybody, but there are just some people who you look at and you go, why is this person not on fucking television? Like, why can you not?
Can I ask a question? I watched AEW last week.
Yep.
This past week.
Yep.
Why is AJ Boom?
Doing the pre-show. Dude, that's a fucking great question, and it fucking sucks. It sucks. That's what it does. I don't understand why they would ever do something like that. Double chocolate chunk cookies. Boom. Fuck you. That's what I have to say to that. Fuck him. Fuck that guy. Fuck that kid. I don't give a shit about none of them. It's fucking bullshit.
Agreed. And they get a pre-show spot.
You're wasting a pre-show. Exactly right. You're wasting a pre-show spot on. You could have a fucking million different people fill that fucking spot. Instead, you got a Costco guy. Who's talking about chocolate chunk cookies wrestling another guy that hasn't been seen in fucking forever. Who the fuck cares about either one of these fucking people? Nobody.
I give a fuck less.
Nobody gives a fuck. Why? Because the guy has a social media following? Fuck that guy.
Who the fuck cares?
Fuck that guy.
Is he gonna drive bar rates? That's what you think? That's
no.
what you need to ask. Is he going to drive
no,
bar?
And that's
he's not. 'Cause he's not good.
And that's why you have.
Pokey as fuck.
And that's why you have a fucking pre-show, so you can get people to buy into the fucking pay-per-view. If you don't put something substantial on the fucking pre-show, nobody's gonna give a fuck. Do you honestly feel that people are gonna tune in to watch fucking AJ the Costco guy wrestle fucking QT Marshall? Nobody gives a fuck. Fuck that boom motherfucker. Nobody cares. I don't give a fuck about him. I don't give a fuck about his kid. I don't give a fuck about the little kid, the Rizzler. I don't give a fuck. He sounds like a Batman villain from the fucking 60s. The Rizzler. The kid's fucking 12 years old. He's like 11 years old. It's fucking ridiculous.
Sounds like Skinner to me.
Skinner.
Sounds like Skinner.
I fucking hate Steve Kern. Let me just tell you, man. I fucking hate Steve Kern. I love the gimmick Skinner, but I hate Steve Kern.
Good. I couldn't tell.
I can't fucking stand it, dude. I can't stand it. It's fucking absolute bullshit.
Right. I'd be pissed if I was a member of that roster. But I tell you this. Obviously, you can tell from my opinion, I'm not watching the Full Gear pay-per-view.
No, I wouldn't imagine that you would.
I'm not. I refuse to pay money to that product. It's just pissing in my mouth.
I understand. It's an oddity to me, bro. It's an oddity.
Listen, and you get the connections where you can get them. You know, you have to pay money for them. That's all you, brother. You can watch it till your heart's content. But I would go move heaven and earth to watch my show, and I would watch your show.
Yeah. No,
I would not watch Full Gear as it is right now.
I totally understand. I totally fucking get it, and I don't fucking blame you, not one bit. I don't blame anyone for not watching that show. I mean, listen, even the wrestling media who's out there right now who have been AEW supporters from the beginning of time.
AEW marks, yeah.
Are like, what the fuck with the show? Like, why would we buy this on pay-per-view? And I mean, what are they gonna do? I mean, they're gonna do probably under 200,000 buys for this pay-per-view. They're not gonna fucking they're not gonna draw dog shit.
It's such a confusing this. I remember like when WCW's around, Clash of Champion cards are better than this. Another free pay-per-view on TV.
Yeah, I miss those.
they need to go back to those, dude.
I miss those.
They need to bring them back.
I mean, why not? He steals everything else. He steals everything else. Right. This is he's calling this November to Remember. Where have I heard that before? Oh yeah, it's a fucking ECW pay-per-view. So another thing that you fucking steal from another wrestling company. It's like fucking ridiculous, dude. It's ridiculous. You got 40% fucking tickets. 40% off all tickets fucking sold up until the new year. Like, what the fuck are we doing, dude? Why are you doing that? Just put better TV on and people will want to go see your show. It's not that fucking hard.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, God. It gives me fucking agita, man. It gives me agita. It's fucking terrible. And it's like not that difficult, dude. Like you and I both booked a show that is better than what he's fucking putting on pay-per-view. And it took, I mean, how long did it take you? Under an hour? You know, maybe?
Under an hour.
Yeah, under an hour to put together a fucking show that's way better than his and it's more coherent.
Yeah, once again, you're getting more new storylines out of this, right? With yours, especially with the number one contenders matches. Eliminators and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like, those are compelling television. And you're setting yourself up to build off of that.
Right. And you put it on the pre-show to get people to buy into the fucking pay-per-view. Because now they're wondering if someone's going to cash in on the fucking pay-per-view. So they're like, fuck, I should probably get the pay-per-view.
And if anyone new, you can introduce them at the end of the main event. At the end of that show, right? At the end of the pre-show. Like, if you had someone new coming on,
yeah.
You know, you had new talent. Yeah, shock signing. Bring them in there.
Bring Miro back for the fucking end of the pre-show. just like you have these guys under contract. Like,
bring Miro back. You're paying him anyways. Bring him back.
I just don't understand, dude. I just don't understand. Instead, you go with fucking AJ Cookie Man. What the fuck are we doing, dude? What purpose does he serve on that fucking show? It is embarrassing. You're exactly right. That's exactly what it is. It's fucking embarrassing. They should be embarrassed to fucking put that on. Not only the pre-show. Why isn't that on like a Rampage taping instead? Like gain some. If you think he's gonna gain viewers like that, you should put him on Rampage somewhere where you need fucking ratings and see if he actually draws fucking people into the show. You don't put him on a fucking pre-show of a pay-per-view to get people to hook into the fucking pay-per-view because nobody gives a fuck about this guy. Nobody cares.
He's not featured for the rest of the fucking show.
Oh god.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he isn't. Is that who you want representing your product?
A guy who doesn't even wrestle for your company. He's not even signed to a deal.
Wrestle for your company.
Yeah. It's just fucking, it's really,
that makes sense.
Really bizarre, bro. Really fucking bizarre.
Fucking embarrassing. Tony Khan should be fucking embarrassed.
Yeah, I agree. He should definitely fucking be embarrassed. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Well, Absolutely. This has been the Full Gear fucking booking of Full Gear for us over here at Wrestling Mondays. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Don't be ashamed. You got to do what you got to do. If you're watching the pay-per-view, God bless you. I wish you the best of luck. I mean, it's gonna be a difficult watch. I can already tell you, but this is what it is, man. Being a wrestling fan, sometimes you gotta watch difficult shit. We all survived the Vince McMahon eras of WrestleManias and shit like that didn't really work out, so it's totally fine. But for myself and Chris Dozer, we appreciate you listening, and until next week, what do we got next week, Chris? We got the Dynamite, Rampage, and Collision tapings, right? We're gonna be booking those. Yeah, I can't wait, buddy. It's going to be a good time. Well, until then, make sure that you keep up with us on Instagram at good.villain.media or at Pro Wrestling Summit RI on Instagram, or you can leave us a comment, like, share, subscribe, and we'll talk to you next week. Peace.